Hey there. Easter is such a crucial and pivotal time when it comes to discipling our kids. It is the time where we as parents have the tremendous privilege of being able to share the gospel and reinforce the gospel with our kids. So I want to encourage you and give you some resources and tips on how you can do that. Because when you think about leading your child to Christ, it is the most exciting yet overwhelming thing as a parent, right? We all pray for that, but at the same time, we're like, how do we do that? How do we know our child is ready, right? So, first of all, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you that you're not alone in those thoughts, and we have resources to help you. The beautiful thing is that our church on Sundays and on Wednesdays, we are talking a whole lot about Holy Week and the events of Easter. So it is such a great time to just piggyback on that, right? So on Sundays, on Wednesdays, ask questions and not just yes or no questions, okay? Grab one of the sheets that we have on Sundays. There's a preschool version and an elementary version that has questions, right? Open-ended questions that you can use this time of year, but all year long, to ask questions that are beyond yes and no, to get a feel for where your child's heart is. Are they understanding the story of Easter? Are they understanding what's happening? Where's their heart in this, right? So instead of, if we're talking about Good Friday, instead of saying, do you understand what happened? That's a yes, no, right? Asking something like, how does it make you feel to know that Jesus died on the cross? And see what their response is. Okay? Well, maybe they might say it made me really sad. Okay, so my next tip is listen. So ask questions and listen. So if they say something like, it makes me feel really sad. Okay, listen. Okay, don't just stop there. Keep the conversation going. Well, why? Why does that make you feel sad? Use it as an opportunity to dig a little deeper, to get an understanding of what's going on in their little hearts, right? Why does that make you feel sad? And see what they say. See what they say. Okay, so ask questions and listen. Why did Jesus have to die? Why did Jesus have to die? Not just did Jesus have to die? That's a yes or no. Why did Jesus have to die? See what they say. They might give you a rock star answer like, well, because we were sinners and he had to die. He replaced us on the cross. They might give you that amazing answer. It might become a teachable moment, right? Well, no, Jesus didn't die because he did bad. He was a bad person. No, in fact, Jesus is not. It might become a teachable moment. But that's what gives you insight into their little hearts and where they're at, and helps you as a parent get a feel for where they're at, right? So ask questions, listen. Okay, use some of the resources that we have all the time available to you. Our Lent family devotions, our Holy Week family devotions, all of those two are going to have questions that you can use to help you in that. My next tip is just pray, 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 right? Pray. This time last year, actually a couple years ago, we could feel like my daughter might be ready. We weren't really sure. We asked her questions and we were getting you could just tell in her response, she had the head knowledge, she was regurgitating the events of Holy Week. But you would ask her hey, have you prayed, asked Jesus into your heart? Because, sometimes kids will do that on their own, right? Without the help of an adult. No, and you could just tell in her response that there was not the interest there. It hadn't made the heart drop yet, right? Last year, we could sense that was shifting. So as we're asking questions and we're listening and we're praying, we can see that shift happening in our daughter. And for her, it wasn't a, hey, are you ready to pray? It wasn't that question that unlocked it for her. It was a, when you're ready, we're here for you. When you're ready, we will help you. And then she initiated it. So don't rush this. We don't want kiddos that have the head knowledge. We want kiddos that are going to be followers of Jesus. That is our goal. Our goal is to have followers of Jesus. And we were very clear in that language to our daughter. You're not just praying to be saved. You're praying and you're committing to be a follower of Jesus. So we That was the language that we used, and I highly encourage you to follow suit. That we are praying to become, we're thanking him for dying on the cross, yes, but we are also committing to be followers of Jesus. And when you're ready, we'll help you. And last year, she said, I'm ready. I'm ready. And so we were able to help her do that. So those are some of my tips. Ask questions, listen, pray, and don't rush it. Don't rush it. I know it's hard, but don't rush it. The Garden and the Cross is an amazing book that walks you through the gospel. A lot of devotionals, a lot of books like this that are very gospel centered will actually have tips and a prayer of salvation in the back that you can use to help you. So I highly encourage you to check out those as well. Once your kiddo has accepted Christ, yay! Okay. This is another great book, the Awesome, Super Fantastic Forever Party, okay? So check this out. That's a great resource for once your kiddo does pray to follow Jesus. And then this is a good Bible study that we did with our daughter after she accepted Jesus as well. And it's leveled. They have some for kiddos of all ages. Okay, so definitely check that out. It's from Not Consumed. I have decided all about the spiritual disciplines, encouraging them in their new walk. Okay, so again, they have youth version all the way down to younger kids leveled for that. So some great resources that you have available once your kiddo does, and let me know because that's amazing. All right, so those are some tips and resources for you because this is a crucial time of year. This is a time of year as parents where we have the amazing opportunity, like I said, I will say it over and over again because it's truth, to preach the gospel, to our kids and to disciple them in a very intentional, focused way that can be impact eternity for generations to come. So don't take it lightly. We're here to help. Reach out if you have questions.